Hello and welcome to Awaken the Truth Within with Zoey Gold. Today I would like to address a question that a lot of people have been asking me recently. It comes from conversations that I have with potential clients, with clients who are just starting working with me, and with people who go through my different workshops, webinars. So the question is, why, when the person has been to so many different events of really highly qualified, famous mentors, they still can't get the desired results? And the answer, of course, it's more than just one component, but I would like to address a few things that, for example, if you've been through a lot of personal development, law of attraction knowledge recently, and you still struggle with results, that can be helpful for you here. So, first of all, there are a lot of patterns, limiting patterns, that people have, and sometimes they're aware of them. They know that this is what's in my way, that's what's holding me back and preventing me from unleashing my true power and potential and going for what I know I need to do and utilize. And there are some patterns that they are not aware of. They're so used to them, they became habits. They lived with them their entire life. You know that phrase that you cannot see the whole picture when you are inside the frame. So they do particular things habitually, internally, in their mind, in their feelings, or externally, and they're not even aware that these particular patterns or these particular actions or thoughts or feelings, that's what's in their way. And that's what's hindering them, because they're so used to them, because they are in the picture, they live it every day, and they think that how life should be and how they should feel. Another point that can also be helpful here is it's not enough just to have a lot of knowledge about personal development. And it's not even enough to have a lot of tools and techniques that you can practice every day, even though they can be helpful. You have to integrate the knowledge. You have to internalize it. You have to let go of the stuff, data, baggage. You have to heal it, because transformation is not just a bunch of techniques for you to get the goal. It's healing. It's letting go of stuff. Challenges and problems come as one more chance for you to let go, for you to set yourself free from stuff that you would probably never get rid of if you didn't have this challenge. But not everybody uses the challenges in order to really free themselves. That's another point here. So it is about that healing. It is about integration, internalization, and inner transformation, because the world is a reflection of what's going on within you, what you project towards it in your feelings, in your thoughts, in your perception about yourself and the world. So that's another thing. Now, when we talk about different techniques and tools, which sometimes, of course, can be useful. Like, for example, you try to visualize, you try to affirm, you try to have different strategies and plans, you try to feel as if, you try to think positive thoughts, feel good, align, and all of these things that are tools that can be helpful in some ways. But if you fully rely on them, That's what basically trips you over, because these are just manifestation techniques and tools. And you try to put all of this positivity on top of your old baggage. Sometimes for some people it's different memories from the past. Sometimes it's different past failures, pain, suffering, something that happened to them in the childhood, something that happened to them 50, 60, 40 years ago that they're still reliving every day in their mind and feeling it and still talking to the people who they didn't see for the past 20 years in their head. So they try to put all these techniques, all these positivity stuff that they learned, they try to put it on top of that old baggage, of that old pain, on top of those old patterns and errors, and they wonder why nothing happens. Because what you have to do is you have to get rid of that baggage first. You have to heal it, let it go, free yourself from it. Otherwise, you will always get triggered and it will always be in the way of your alignment, of you feeling good naturally. So again, coming back to that is that healing and freeing yourself from stuff that is not you, that has nothing to do with you. Maybe some decisions that you're still dragging along from the past served you back in, 1981 or years ago, but they're not serving you anymore, and they have nothing to do with you, with your true abilities, with your true power, with your greatness. They have nothing to do with that. Now, another thing is you've heard about changing beliefs, shifting negative beliefs, letting go of them, shifting the paradigm, shifting inner identity and those ideas, which again can be very useful. But what happens is when you do that, you try to, it is a transformation, but it's more on a surface level. So basically, you try to change one narrative, one limiting narrative, with another upgraded narrative, which sounds a bit better, but it is still a narrative, and therefore it is still limiting. And then you have to make an effort to believe in that second narrative, and it's challenging to do. That leads to a constant internal fight, a battle between old and new beliefs, and feeling of lying to yourself. Trying to pretend or imagine or visualize one thing and then looking at reality or whatever physical senses suggest you have in this moment, and going few steps forward with your vision and feeling and alignment, and 10 steps backward, like, oh my God, this is not happening, this is not here, what I'm gonna do. So, and you do all of that instead of really tapping into the truth within you, really awakening the real in you, unleashing your true identity and your true inner resources, knowing that core, that essence, not just intellectually, but on a level when you are it. So you don't try to pretend to be a better version of yourself. You know who you are. You know your value that comes from the only source there is, and you being part of that. We are these parts of that infinite whole. Knowing your abilities, innate abilities, which don't have to be proven. You don't have to achieve anything in order to have it. You don't have to convince yourself about your self-worth. You awaken it. You awaken the innate, ancient knowledge that is older than the world about the real you. And the more you do that, the more you will get rid again of stuff that is in your way. And that stuff is internal. You have to, if we talk about love, spiritual love, or you can categorize all the entire array of positive emotion under that word. The more you flow it, the better your life works, because that's the essence of you. That's the building block of creation. And you do not try to find it or make it happen. You have to remove all the obstacles you created for you to express and feel and flow it towards yourself, towards everyone involved, towards your vision, because you have what you love. And what ego does, and ego is just basically false beliefs about yourself and who you are. Ego does not have positive goals. It doesn't know what it wants. It only knows what it doesn't want. So it constantly focuses on unwanted. And many people live in those patterns, using the situation as a determiner of the outcome. But when you come from that essence of yours, from that truth in you, you look at the situation as the means for getting that vision, that true desire of your heart. And you overlook everything that is in the way or everything that is not useful for the achievement of that. And you concentrate fully on what's useful and what can help you get there. And another thing that I also want to mention here, and obviously there is so much more to this, right? I'm just giving you brief points and brief ideas so you can grasp what I'm trying to convey. Now, another point here is you were told about the power of the mind and that it can create. Now, that's a great idea, but what kind of mind are you talking about here? Are you talking about ego, the little mind, the human mind? And that mind is full of errors, chaos, confusion, false ideas in consciousness, fears, guilt, self-condemnation, judgment, data, all that stuff. That mind can only sabotage and prevent you from getting where you want to go and truly unleashing your full potential and operating from your true power. What you have to do is you have to operate from the divine mind, the only source, consciousness, awareness, life that creates and expresses itself through you. And you do that by, again, healing the stuff, data, baggage, or inner garbage, in other words. You tap into the truth, you unleash the real you, you connect to that mind that is yours. That is your nature. That is your essence. It's yours. And it's always there. It's like, that sun and clouds. Even if clouds are covering it, the sun is still there. So you operate from that wisdom, from that clarity, from that intelligence that comes from beyond this world. Because you are beyond the body, the human experience and physical universe. You're a spiritual being having this beautiful live physical experience, this beautiful game of life. But you are so much greater and beyond it. And you project stuff that you learned throughout your physical path, and some stuff is negative and false. You project it, and the world gives you witnesses towards what you are projecting. And and you allow what you projected, what you made, control you and say, I am powerless, because that's the reality. When you have nothing to do with it and you are not even aware that that reality was projected. Because you have so many people living on this planet and so many of them having completely different life experiences. Why? Because of that projection, that internal projection. Because when you look behind at perfection behind illusion, that's the reality. That's the truth that you can see about yourself, your situation, where you're going, your current circumstances. From that truth that is close to the actual reality of who you are, what you're capable of, and what actually is happening. But no, often we train ourselves throughout our lifetimes to see particular things in particular ways. We project them. And the world gives us witnesses for that projection. And then we believe them and we say, yeah, that's how it is. And that turns to a never-ending circle of your projection witnesses and reinforcement of your projection and witnesses, etc. So I hope this was helpful. And there are missing pieces. There are crucial misconceptions that many people operate with. Even the people who believe they know so much about personal development and law of attraction. That needs to be clarified. There are different missing pieces of the puzzle that need to be put together. So you can see that bigger picture and so you can operate from the truth within you. And for that desired transformation to really take place, you gotta know you gotta understand the errors and let go of them, free from them. As long as you're free from them, you don't really need to understand them, but understanding them helps you spot them, become aware of them, be conscious about them, and pour the light of consciousness on patterns. They're just patterns. They're not who you are, it's just data. That's not even real. Okay. So again, I hope this was helpful for today, and we're gonna wrap up, and I will talk to you soon. Have a great day.